Welcome, everybody. This is Greg Rock. In our latest installment of our Need to Know video series, we're thrilled to have the CEO of Strategia with us, George Barlow, a familiar face to many of those in the BPM industry. I first met George and started working with him back when he was with Appian. And, back then, George was one of the first folks to bring process to the cloud as a SaaS product. And that was with Appian Anywhere, which is a product that a lot of you will be familiar with, and that's still out there. And so, George, I wanted to pick your brain for our members today and ask you what you see most significantly these days, what's happening with the migration to cloud computing.
Yeah, great. Well, welcome from California. Greetings, at least. I hope everything's going well back in Boston.
Very good.
Two things about this migration to cloud computing over the past decade sort of stand out to me. The first one is the growth and sophistication of the whole cloud infrastructure. It's amazing to see things like containerization, being able to run things in multiple containers on the same servers to get scale. The idea of on-demand resource configuration, the fact that we can make computers bigger and smaller as the workload changes is pretty phenomenal. And then we look at concepts like IoT, the Internet of Things, and we're seeing lots of technologies there, including what I call edge computing, which is to put the power of smaller servers out to satisfy IoT and then sort of cascading up the larger servers. And so this whole edge computing is really interesting. And then finally, one that many organizations are familiar with from their marketing and sales organizations is this whole distributed storage and delivery mechanisms, like Amazon S3 is a really good example of that. So whole new industries have spun up just by the fact that the cloud exists and is very cost effective. And so that sophistication has been fun and exciting to watch.
That's great. And George, for our community, for folks that have been BPM practitioners for several years now, in some cases, 5 or 10 years, what connection will you help them make to some of these concepts with the upcoming classes you're going to be delivering in April?
Sure. So based on what I was talking about, the changes in the cloud and its maturing and so forth, it actually changes the way we do or should be thinking about designing systems. It's a new paradigm. And of course, lots of companies have lots of experience. It isn't brand new, but thinking about it on scale and really beginning to understand the impact of things like low code, no code connected to model-driven applications is a different way of thinking. And this whole idea of API forward and being able to connect with webhooks and stuff like that is a big deal. But also the growth and maturing of the programming conventions themselves is pretty interesting. So the browser has become ubiquitous. It's everywhere. It's the way we deliver applications now, is on browser applications. So what's happened is we now allow web applications to run practically anywhere on virtually any device, and it's all the same. I mean, it's the same experience on an iPhone or a smartphone as it is on a tablet, as it is on a laptop, as it is on a workstation. And that's pretty amazing. And that's really the browser's great contribution to the world that we live in. So bringing all these kinds of ideas together, the APIs and the webhook technologies, really allow the seamless interconnection and the creation of composite apps. And that whole idea is, again, changing the way we think about things and how we use the cloud to deliver value to our customers.
All right, awesome. Thank you for that, George. And I hope that folks can join George and I the week of April 25th. We'll be debuting 2 brand new courses in our digital transformation certificate program. And you get to pick George's brain a little bit more over the course of that week. And George, thank you again so much for coming down.
Thank you, Greg. I enjoyed it.